Welcome students. In this video we are going to see the revision topic of chapter number 9, right? Chapter number 9, and revision topic is plant breeding. Very important topic for your board examination, right? And 1 marks questions can be also asked, right, in the entrance examinations. So this is the topic of revision today. It is plant breeding, right? Date is okay, students. Now, so whenever we talk, right, about the plant breeding, plant breeding is why needed. You are knowing that traditional farming cannot yield high amount of biomass, and on the other side population is getting increased. So to fulfill the requirement we need to enhance the food production, isn't it? So students, if we need to enhance the food production, we can use better management practices, as well as we can increase the land area where we can cultivate, that is increase in acreage. But that is also not sufficient. That is not sufficient. In 1960s, due to introduction of certain semi-dwarf varieties, the food production got increased, right? And that was referred as green revolution. So students, in 1960, from 1960s to 2000, the food production was highly increased, and that was referred as green revolution, right? Now, what was the main base of this green revolution? Main base of green revolution was plant breeding, right? So what is plant breeding? Plant breeding is purposeful manipulation of plant species to create desired type of plant, right? So it is purposeful, it is purposeful manipulation, means we are manipulating, we are trying to handle it, right? Purposeful manipulation of plant, right, for creating desired type of combination, right? Okay, so this is plant breeding, students. Now conventional plant breeding is used since thousands of years. Approximately recorded data is of 9,000 to 11,000 years back, conventional breeding. But when we talk about the classical breeding involves the cross of two pure lines. Remember this. Classical breeding involves the cross of two pure lines, students. Okay. Now, when I say cross of two pure lines to form a hybrid variety, right? Okay. Cross of two pure lines. Now, this entire process is to either increase the yield and also to develop a disease resistant plant, right? What is the aim? The aim is to increase the yield. That was the main aim, right? Food production should be enhanced, increase yield. And second one is to develop disease resistant plant, right? Develop disease resistant plant, right? So students, this is the basic thing, to develop disease resistant plant. Now when we talk about these things, this entire process also we can, if the crop or cultivated crop, if we are using the plant breeding program for the cultivated crop, or the for the cultivation of the crop, what farmers should, or what the breeders should keep in the mind for during the plant breeding. So The plant should be able to produce high yield, as well as it should be resistant to environmental stresses like temperature, droughts. Such type of activities should be done to make it resistant, right? Then it should be also resistant or tolerant to certain pathogens as well as insects, right? So basically, in case of pathogens, you can say bacteria and bacteria and fungi, right? These are the pathogens which are going to cause the disease in plants. So it plant should be resistant, right? This should be kept in mind during the plant breeding. So students, this is a basic thing. Now, which are the 5 steps, right? I will explain you one by one all the 5 steps. The first step is collection of variability. Remember this, collection of variability. So what you will do in this first step, you will try to collect wild variety of the plant, relatives of the plants, previously cultivated plants, all the plants you are going to collect it. That means you are collecting the all the plants or the diverse form of all the alleles of all genes. That is germplasm collection, right? So what you will do in this, you will do germplasm collection, right? So it is collection of plant or seeds. It is collection of plant or seed, right? Having all diverse alleles of all genes. This is referred as germplasm collection. So student, why we need to collect it? Genetic variability is root of plant breeding. Remember this. In this we can say genetic variability. If you are having all diverse form of genes and its alleles, then you can exploit all the genes, right? So we can use these genes for plant breeding. So if you want to do a proper exploitation, you need to require all the types of genes. Now second one is another, that is evaluation and selection of parents. Now see, when you say second one, evaluation and selection of parents. So whenever I say this, you have all the germplasm, right? All the type of varieties. Now what you will do? You will collect this. After that, you will try to evaluate that which plant is having your desired type characteristics. Let's say one plant is having disease resistant, another plant is having high protein yield. So by seeing the characteristic, you will evaluate each and every plants. Then you will select them, out of them one parent. Okay students, so this is the second step. Okay, third step is cross hybridization among the selected parents, right? Third one is cross hybridization among selected parents, right? So students, when we say, as I said, that we chose 2 plants. First one is plant 1. Let's say this is plant 2. One was having disease resistance, okay, and second one is having the high protein yield, okay, high protein yield. Now both of these plants are crossed. So these are generally made first pure lines so that they can be used for hybridization. So these are pure lines now. Previously it has been made. After evaluation and selection, these plants are made to be pure lines by continuous cell pollination, right? So homozygosity increases, and when the cross is done, this is hybrid progeny. You will get hybrid progeny. Okay, students. Now, see, this is a very tedious task. This third step includes a very tedious and time consuming part. Reason is, for example, a plant having a flower and its anther, then we need to collect the pollen from this anther, right? We are going to collect the pollen from the anther and then we are going to place it on the stigma. Okay, students. So this is the next step, pollens, and this one is a very time consuming and a very tedious task. So basically this we have already discussed in the main topic, but this is a revision video. Then also we need to understand this part is time consuming and tedious one. So students, remember this. Okay. Now when you get hybrid progeny, out of 100 to thousands progenies, one is having our desired combination of this both. Means, say if you are going to evaluate, then also say in progenies out of 100 to 1000 there is only one. It may be two also, but not more than a high number, that is 100, right? So definitely the ratio is very low. So we need to evaluate each and every progeny, that which progeny is having the desired combination, right? So what we need to do, the fourth step is evaluation and selection of superior recombinants. Fourth step is evaluation and selection of superior recombinants. Okay, students. Now what happens in this case? Whenever you are selecting the offsprings or progeny, this progeny should be superior from these two. That is referred as hybrid vigor, right? If I say that progeny is superior to both the parents, then that is called as heterosis or hybrid vigor. Remember this. Okay, so this should be superior to both, right? Superior to both, and that is why it is referred as hybrid vigor or heterosis. Okay, students. So this is the fourth step. When you are evaluating, you need to select out the one which is having superior combination, which is superior to both the parents, right? Last one is testing, release and commercialization of cultivars, right? Last step is testing, release and commercialization of cultivars. Now see, this is the last step. Okay, students. Now what happens in this? When you are getting superior progeny, right? This progeny is self-pollinated to stabilize and bring the stable variety, that is homozygosity or uniformity, right? Now whenever you get a uniform plant species, after that you need to try it or taste it. So where the testing is done? First testing is done in the research field. Where it is done? In the research field. Research field provides all the optimum condition. For example, if I say proper irrigation practices, management practices and under ideal fertilizer condition. When it is able to grow in this research field, then the step is transferred to farmer's field. Same plant species will be grown in 3 different regions or in the various zones of the country, having 3 different agroclimatic conditions. Okay, students. So first, in the research field under very ideal conditions, that is ideal fertilizer, proper irrigation practices and management practices. then that plant species will be tried in the farmer's field in three different zones of the country, having three different agroclimatic zones, right? So, and wherever it grows better, over there this can be released. So this is the completion of entire topic or revision, that is plant breeding. Thank you.